episode of Chatty Broads with Becca and Jess.
Hey, broads. Hey, broads. How are you all doing today? I'm in a mood, but mostly I'm in a mood because I really didn't get any sleep last night.
Dude, me and you both, Queen.
But I think you're not getting sleep because you have kids every single day who are not sleeping because they're sick, and I am so sorry. Okay. I do not have this excuse.
Why did you not get sleep?
I started watching Temptation Island a week ago.
Oh my God. You know, I can't wait to watch.
Tell me.
Oh, go ahead with your Temptation Island.
I've literally never seen the show Temptation Island, and I've seen commercials. I'm like, this is so stupid. And then when I hear people talk about Temptation Island, I'm like, this is so dumb.
I've heard it's very addictive.
I am so hooked on Temptation Island, and I need to figure out, I'm happy with Evan right now, but I need to figure out how we can get there, because for one reason alone, I need to talk with the host of Temptation Island.
Okay, isn't this one of those things where like you guys could go and you could like and you guys could kill it by not being tempted by anyone?
Very true.
Isn't that the thing?
Very true.
I have never watched the show.
I don't know if I don't think I've seen a couple so far who's actually married who's on the show. It's always like engaged or dating. Like some people have been together for like, 10 years and some people are like, we've been together for 8 months and this isn't working,
Yeah.
But it's true. We could do it. I need to meet the host, and I'm so sorry if this man has pulled a Chris Harrison and I'm not aware of this because I know nothing of this show. Maybe he's shitty. But as far as I can tell, now this man is a goddamn host. This man is like a therapist. He is maybe the best host I've ever seen.
Wow.
He sits the couples down and he digs and he asks all the right questions. He makes everyone cry. And his name is Mark Wahlberg. And it's not Mark Wahlberg. So go figure.
Do you think if you had a name like that, you would continue to go by that name? Or like, would you? I personally wouldn't.
I mean, I would if I was...
Like, what if your name was Jessica Simpson?
I would absolutely keep the name Jessica Simpson if I wasn't in acting, because I would love to make like reservations and stuff and be like,
that was immediately
my name is Jessica Simpson, and everyone would be like pulling out the red carpet for me.
But let's say you were a host. Would you go on and use the name Jessica Simpson as the host?
Absolutely not.
Right?
Because I'd be like, all that everyone's talking about is the fact that my name is Jessica
I would
Simpson.
shorten it and just be like Jess Simps.
Jess Simps. I love that.
It's your new YouTube channel.
But
or
his
something.
thing is like Mark, and he always has, he's a producer, I think, on the show, and it's Mark L. Wahlberg. And I'm like, dude, it's still Mark Wahlberg. Like, it doesn't matter if you have the L in it or not.
I think shorten it. Like, do like Mark Wall.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Mark Berg.
Or Marcus. Marcus Wahlberg. Even though that's
Marcus is so different from Mark.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's a different energy. But Mark Wahlberg kills it. Honestly, I just want to be on the show for him to talk to me and like tell me what I need in my life.
Yeah.
I want his opinion about my relationship.
Yeah.
I want his opinion about my relationship. And he kind of looks exactly like Chris Harrison, which is also disturbing. But he's just as far as I know, awesome version of Chris Harrison. The right version. The good, the angel versus the devil.
Chris Harrison is now Satan, in case you were wondering.
And speaking of Chris Harrison and reality TV shows, it's been brought to my attention that sources say that Chris Harrison, signed a non-competition contract for like a year or two, but he's saying that he will be putting out a reality dating show as soon as his contract is up. And he says that it will like bring The Bachelor to its knees, and like the best revenge is going to be the fact that he will crush
what do they say? Like success is the best, or what is that?
Success is there. Yeah, whatever. I know
whatever is the best revenge.
So,
oh my God.
So CH is going to be out here losing his shit.
Well, I mean, honestly, you would think that the man would have some good ideas on how to run a reality show.
I mean, he probably has seen ratings wise what works and what doesn't. And
holy shit, what is he gonna do?
I don't know, but I just picture him so like with fire in his eyes, and I picture him hosting and him being so hyped up on being the host again that he's like really aggressive and wild in his hosting, and everyone's just like really freaked out. He's like, I'm back, bitches. Like, please don't start the show that way. This is the intro into Couples in Cabo, and you're I'm back.
He's like, welcome to the Rose Dating Game Show. It's like the Rose Dating Game Show.
No, it's the exact same premise as The Bachelor.
Exact same format.
And it's just like, it's something about like always anti-Mike Fleiss. He's just like has like weird symbolism in the background that's like anti-Mike Fleiss.
What if he calls it Game of Roses? Honestly, I think his best move would be to do political stuff, because we literally voted in a reality TV show host as president. I think he's got a shot. He was the host of the biggest reality TV show.
Yeah, I feel like if he really does start his political career,
he'll be unstoppable.
When I tell you I am so scared of, dropping my daughter off at junior high in a few years and looking up on the TV screens that will be, holograms at that point. And Chris Harrison will be like, hello, United States of America. And I'm just like,
welcome to my little game.
Oh my God.
He's just like always dropping like Bachelor things where he's like, who will get my final rose? And be like, you are my Secretary of State. And he'll be handing out roses.
This is going to be the most dramatic year ever. And you're like, oh just pure terror.
Honestly, it'll be the nail in the coffin. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for years of hell to come.
Bring it on. What a nightmare.
But you know what? In right now, here's a segue for you. This is not a nightmarish season.
This is not a nightmarish season, and honestly, it's been one of my favorite seasons so far. I feel like this is normally where I'm bored. And granted, I will say there were definitely chunks in this episode where I was kind of like snooze
all right,
fest.
let's move on.
I was like, this rose ceremony is taking
Blake
forever.
Again.
Bring us back Blake immediately.
Don't worry, guys. We're going to talk about this.
Hey, don't worry. Will I cry? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
And I won't blame you.
Do you know that feeling when I heard comedian / podcaster Rick Glassman, if you haven't checked him out, one of my favorite podcasts. He always talks about this, and I've never related to something more. Do you know when you talk about something and it makes you so happy? And specifically when like you agree with someone and your eyes water because you're so happy, like you're going to start crying when you're like in agreement with someone. That's what I feel like is about to happen when we talk about Blake.
I mean, the fact that some people, I don't want to get into it. I'm going to get triggered.
Take deep breaths, cleansing breaths.
The fact that some people...
This is... The head is in the hands. For those who are not watching, the head is in the hands. Rubbing of the temples.
The fact that some people are not happy with him being here on the show for Katie.
Hey. What's wrong with all of you?
That is what's going to bring me to tears.
No, I'm going to let the tears come.
The fact that there are some people that don't want Katie to find true love and happiness. They are sick. And you are twisted. And you are sick people.
What is wrong with you? Did you not see the twinkle in her eye? Did you not feel the energy between them? And you're going to come out here and talk about the fact that he's been with 2 other bachelorettes before. Guess what? It wasn't his choice. Claire left him. And it was the COVID times. What else are you supposed to do? Would you leave the season if you finally got on after you quarantined for 10 days?
Would Greg leave the season? No.
Hey, guess what? Greg was supposed to be there. Greg was also supposed to come in and have Claire and Tayshia be 2 bachelorettes. Okay, and you know what? He was on the grounds of La Quinta, and those producers kicked him off because he was nothing compared to Blake. So they brought him in again.
Say it.
And Greg's gonna hate Blake because he knows that Blake won. And you know what? I believe Blake is going to stay calm and cool and collected, and all the other guys are gonna lose their shit. Specifically, Greg. And y'all are gonna buy Greg's bullshit about it, and you're gonna forget that he was supposed to be on Claire and Taysh's season.
Don't forget.
Don't forget. Don't forget. That's all I'm going to say. If you ever say something about my baby boy ever again.
If you ever speak to me or my son ever again, you will have a thing coming.
Honestly, that's how I feel.
I was going to say that. I put it in my notes last night. I said, Blake is my son, and I am so proud of him.
I remember the day that I birthed him and I nursed him for years.
10 years. 10 years.
People gave us shit about how long it was, and yet we continued on in this journey, and now here he is, and he is thriving. He is soaring. Because this is a good man. This is a man who knows my daughter, loves animals just like he does, and make sure that I know that Zaboomafoo is available on Amazon Prime for her to watch.
How?
Like this is the type of man we're talking about.
How could someone be against this union?
I don't know. Even if you don't like Blake, how could you be against this union? That's my thing. Listen, I get it. When Blake was on initially on Claire's season, we gave Blake a lot of shit. Blake did some
off vibes for a minute. We thought
he made some moves that I didn't love. Now there was nothing wrong with them, but it was like, oh gosh, that's not for me. It's not my deal. Da da da. But then this man grew on us every single week, just like his beard. He grew and he grew and he grew. And he grew on us.
This is a children's book. He grew and he grew and he grew and he grew some more. And one day he was so grown up that he was a big, strong boy going on Katie's season of The Bachelor.
And he went
what
so confident.
I like you. I love you forever. I like you for always. And that little boy turned into a bigger boy, and he grew and he grew and he grew.
And then I crawled.
And every night I crawl.
I crawled into that bedroom in the Hyatt, and I whispered to him.
I held him in his big boy bed.
With his galaxy boxers. And I said, this is yours to lose, Blake. I believe in you.
And yours to gain.
But honestly, though, I mean, I don't get it. I don't get how, like if you don't like him, fine.
Some people just wake up and choose violence, and they want the worst for the world.
And honestly, really, maybe that's who you are. And that, you know what? Fine. Maybe you decide that you don't like Blake for whatever reason.
I mean, I've decided that, Greg is
we really
scum of the earth.
We really have unfounded claims about how we feel about Greg, and it's just a vibe. And if maybe you have those vibes about Blake, don't understand why you would.
No,
but that's fine.
Not a bad vibe in his body.
Not one bad bone in that man's body. He is a Leo, and he is my Aslan, and he has a good heart. He is King Richard the Good, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
Greg is King John. Prince John.
I did actually just post a Instagram talking about Katie and Blake, and I used So This Is Love from Robin Hood.
Interesting.
And Blake said, love the song choice. So we know that he loves Robin Hood.
Also,
so we continue to stand.
We've been, we can neither confirm or deny that we may be getting messages from, people. People on the show, in the show. Maybe a lead, maybe not.
I don't know. There was some drama.
Oh my God, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about this. And hey, guess what? You know what? Just so you all know, we're going to keep talking about Blake later in this episode. So prepare.
That will be half this episode.
Prepare yourself that this is called the Blake Appreciation Podcast now.
Yes.
And honestly,
the Chatty Blakes.
And honestly, even if he makes a horrible mistake next week, I will just continue to just stand without any.
Jess, there is no denying they are perfect for each other.
I know. And that's, that was my closing thought in that moment was, even if you're not a fan of Blake and you're like, Blake's not my type, I wouldn't date Blake. Cool. I get that. That's fine. Live your life. But you cannot deny.
I wouldn't date him as my son.
He is my child. That those two together are absolute perfection.
He makes her so happy.
The level of joy, the level of comfort was pretty wild to me. There was so much
home.
It was home. Also, she could express herself. He was not going, hey, but trying to defend. It was full open. It was just, it was true love.
It was true love. I'm with you. I'm with you 1,000%.
I looked at it and I told Becca, I said, I fell in love again. I was like, this is why I fell in love with Evan, because I had this when I remember when I met Evan, I have this level of comfort with Evan where there was this tingly and flirtatiousness, but there was also this comfort and joy. And that's what I felt like I just saw on screen.
I hated my boyfriend the first year we were together, but with Katie and Blake.
But maybe if Katie and Blake would have met numerous years ago, they would have hated each other initially and then learned to love each other.
Doubt it.
Doubt it. Impossible.
Doubt it. No. She lit up. I don't know. There was just... When he told her off the cuff... Okay, question though. Mm-hmm. Do you think they've ever met in person before?
No.
Okay.
Because I think the fact that she said we were DMing,
okay,
I felt like it was pretty like, okay. That she didn't try to act like they've never spoken before. Okay. And also, it was the COVID times when he went on Tayshia's season, and then she immediately was on Matt's season. And that was a couple weeks before then she got cast again.
True.
So, and he's in Canada.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right.
I really don't think now. Okay. Have they FaceTimed? Maybe.
But what was I gonna say? Don't remember. But when he said, I could see us engaged at the end of this. Mm-hmm. She felt that. She felt that, and she was excited by it.
And I felt it, and I believe everything he says. I believe every word that comes out of his mouth.
Me too. Yeah, how are people... I'm sorry. How are people going to say... Have you seen his Instagram? Does he look like a fucking clout chaser to you? Hey, I'm sorry. Shut the
everybody.
Fuck up.
Guess what? If you haven't been following Blake, I'm going to remind you of my obsession with following him for the past year, because my obsession was because this man is the opposite of a clout chaser.
Me? Clout chaser. I know when I see one. Him? Not clout chaser.
Listen, if I were to go on the show, I'd be clout chasing my face off afterwards. Yeah. Ads, free stays, free vacations, free clothes. That would be what I'm doing. This man is out here posting constantly worried about wildlife conservation. He's worried about sustainability, and he is occasionally trading some sort of like sweater of his and looking for a roommate. Like, I mean, the man uses Instagram like Craigslist. Like, he doesn't know the difference. Like, I know he's our son, but he's almost more like our dad when it comes to social media, where you're like, hey, Blake, there's a swipe up link. I know you probably don't know about it, but you can do it here. And the man doesn't know. He is so not here for the fame. I'm sorry. I don't buy it at all. And when he said to her too, when she's like, well, you've been here for the 2 Bachelorettes now. And I think these are sorry, though. You're really going to say, Claire, you're going to count them as 2 Bachelorettes? No. To me, that is just utter bullshit. No. Now, when we first met Blake on Claire's season, I remember thinking like, oh, this guy, I don't know. Sure. But then, listen, you can get vibes from somebody on the show, but you know what matters? Time afterwards. And what we saw was the man who is the opposite of a clout chaser on social media. I mean, he posts once every 3 weeks, or he used to post like once every 3 weeks on Instagram, and it would be of like him driving with his owl on his shoulder.
Oh yeah.
And he'd be like talking to his owl. Yeah. Okay. Like this is it. This is where, and the only thing he'd ever promote was his mom's book. So, and that's just a good son.
And it's not us. It's not our book though, unfortunately.
No, not our book, unfortunately. But I mean, that's when he said to her then, and she's like, hey, you know, I'm a little concerned because people here for the wrong reasons, and now I know you were these 2 Bachelorettes. Great active conversation, necessary conversation. And when he said, honestly, like, I'm more likely to completely embarrass myself by doing this, and like I almost didn't want to, I believe that again in my heart.
Me too.
Completely. Because let's remember, minus Mr. Nick Viall, when you come back when you return to someone's, like, go on halfway through, let us not forget Heather last season. Okay. Full embarrassment. Okay.
Well, Nick Viall still had to fight it through with the guys too. You know, it's not an easy thing.
It's not an easy position. But I think other than Nick, it's never really been successful.
Rebecca Tilley came back from day one and she did pretty well.
I feel like the day oneers are different
because they've slogged through the mud.
Yeah, when you're there the first week and you walk on,
they're not trying to be the VIP.
Everyone's like, hey, but when you show up, mid-season, it doesn't go well. It doesn't go well. Most of the time, it's embarrassment. So he understands, and I believe it.
Yeah, I won't say another word on that. Let's get to the meme.
Before we get to the meme, let's leave that as a cliffhanger because we have to take a quick pause. Okay. But broads, the meme that we posted about Greg.
Just poured kombucha all over myself.
No. The meme that we posted about Greg, we have some updates. Before we talk about that meme, I think it's common knowledge that cooking isn't my favorite pastime, and that goes double when LA is in the middle of a heat wave like we currently are. 90 degrees and a hot stove aren't exactly a match made in heaven. No. It's those moments when I'm extra obsessed with Daily Harvest, the plant-based food service that makes eating good easier than ever.
You said it, sister. Mm-hmm. Daily Harvest delivers tons of options for any meal, any time of day, all built on organic fruits and veggies. Everything takes only minutes to prepare, so you can be back outside enjoying the summer sun or making memories with your friends and family in no time. And when I say they have tons of options, I mean it. You've got smoothies and oat bowls for breakfast, flatbreads for lunch, soups and harvest bowls for dinner, and my personal favorite, the plant-based scoops for dessert, which is the perfect summer evening treat. And those are sweetened with maple syrup, which I love.
My whole family is absolutely obsessed with the scoops. Currently, the favorite is chocolate midnight fudge, but honestly, they're all incredible. And broads, every single item from Daily Harvest stays fresh in your freezer until you're ready to prepare it, which means no matter what your day brings, you're always just a few minutes away from a healthy, delicious meal or snack. And as if that couldn't get any better, Daily Harvest never, ever uses preservatives, added sugar, or anything artificial. Just good for you. Recipes made with super fresh ingredients. That's it.
Stay cool, calm, and collected during the summer heat. Go to dailyharvest.com/chatty to get up to $40 off your first box. That's dailyharvest.com/chatty for up to $40 off your first box. dailyharvest.com/chatty.
So broads, becoming a mom has changed the way I view, everything, but especially, and when I say becoming a mom, I'm not talking about Blake, I'm talking about my daughter Ember, but especially watching my daughter's curiosity grow daily is the best feeling in the world. And I know not only from having a kid, but also from being a kid, is that the things that stuck with me the most were things that I got to learn and discover hands-on. My daughter is 100% obsessed with KIWICO, the subscription box that lets her learn, play, and tackle new subjects each month. When I say it's her favorite, that's not an exaggeration.
Okay, if you have little learners of your own in your life, because this is also a good gift for the nieces and the nephews. Maybe Greg's niece would love KIWICO. We love KIWICO. Each month, your kiddo will get a crate full of fun science and art projects that help them fully learn and comprehend a new subject. And here's the reason I love it most. It comes with everything you need to complete the crate. No more last-minute runs for glue or tape, which means you have even more time to bond and learn with your little one. And each crate includes 1 to 2 larger projects or 2 to 3 smaller projects, all centered around one theme or subject, so your child really develops an understanding of the topic.
Literally, the second my daughter Ember gets her KIWICO crate delivered, whatever we have going on completely stops. She has to tear into it right away. And honestly, I'm not mad about it. It's educational after all. The crates are really tailored specifically to each age group, which makes it even more fun for kids of all ages because they can take the reins. Like, they have the instructions that are specifically tailored for their age. Ember's able to do it herself. She absolutely loves it. It also fosters so much independence. I sit back, let Ember show me how it's done, watch her confidence grow with each crate. It's been so much fun to watch.
With KIWICO, there's something for every kid or kid at heart every month. Get your first month free on select crates at KIWICO.com/chatty. That's KIWICO.com/chatty. Okay, so let's get into the meme. So you created a Greg meme, as you do, in perfect form. You always, you create the perfect Greg memes. I gotta say one thing before we even talk about the sister. People were so heated in the comments about it. Oh my my God, why are you guys being so mean to Greg? Okay. First of all, the meme was it's a fucking joke. This is the fucking Bachelor.
And also a meme is a joke. A meme is a joke.
The meme was about how he is an actor who's trying to have an acting career.
Yes.
I mean, that's the cheapest, the easiest, the easiest laugh.
The fact of the matter is this.
Is that a hateful meme? I mean, come on.
The fact of the matter is this. Becca and I, do we like to go hard in the paint? Do we make broad brush strokes? Sure. You know why? Because it's entertainment.
Dude, also, like, I'm sorry.
We're just going to be dramatic. It's entertainment, okay?
Someone saying someone's there for their acting career is not like, that's not like hate.
No.
That's not being like, that's not bullying. Like, shut up. That's not bullying saying that he's there for his acting career. Just shut up. And also, and then people in the comments would be like they're acting like she was there for the right reasons. And I'm like, no, dude, I've said this a million times. That's everyone goes on the show for clout. I'm not just singling out Greg. Like, oh my God, come on. It's a theatrical hatred of Greg, but also he has really bad vibes. So I'm sticking with that.
No, this is the truth of the matter. Truth of the matter is, again, we broad brush. We have fun. We joke around. We do big, or else guess what?
Over the top.
Or else guess what? The podcast would be extremely boring.
Oh my God, guys. Do you really want us to come on and be like, yeah, I don't know. I really don't like him. Okay, moving on. Is that how you want us to talk about people?
And so
you want us to say about Blake, yeah, he seems like a nice guy. Okay, let's, and then
he's
after that, the group date. Yeah, I mean, come on. It's obviously theatrical.
So with the whole Greg piece, do we hate Greg? No, I don't know him. I can't hate. Becca whispers yes, but I don't hate anybody I don't know. First of all, in fact,
come on. Like, what am I going to spit in his face if I see him in person?
Fact,
no.
Also, I don't really know many people that I really don't like that I even know. Like, please, okay.
Right, I don't hate anyone in my personal life,
but. Do we get not good vibes from him? Yes. Sorry, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. We don't get good vibes from him.
Have there been a number of things floating around?
Have there been a number of things floating around? Yes. Did he go to a very well-known acting school? Yes.
And choose deliberately to omit that from any narrative of himself?
Yes, he did. Did all these things kind of fall together as we also were getting bad vibes from week 1? Yes. Now, also want to address when people say that we just don't like him because everyone is simping for him. I'm going to let you know something right now. And this is
Thank you.
This is from my heart to all of your hearts. Being somebody who decides to go on a podcast and choose actively to not like the person the fan favorite, when I tell you the DMs are a bloodbath and it's not fun. It's not fun. Like we have chosen this podcast to live this podcast. We live in our truth. We live in our truth. Yes. Again, do we joke in bigger, in hyperbole? Yes. But we committed, even when people slide into our DMs, we like them, they're nice, that we would always be direct and tell you exactly how we feel. And we're not going to pretend to like a fan favorite or not get bad vibes. No. The second that Becca and I started to watch the first episode, we didn't even see.
We said on the cast bios, he seemed dead in his eyes.
We didn't see that everyone was simping for Greg while we were watching the episode. We were texting. You can read our texts back and forth, and we were like, I don't know. I'm picking up really bad vibes.
Yes.
And then everyone started to simp, and we were like, what?
Look, dude, I'm going to be straight with you. Any of the guys that we've come for in the past, like Ben or Greg or any of these guys, I'm going to be completely dead honest. If they were dating one of my friends, like, I would be like, girl, I don't think this is a good idea. I'm not saying that they're hateful people, that they're bad people. I'm just saying my vibe. I would tell a friend that, like, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I feel like he might be hiding something. I feel like something's off.
We're just talking to you like we would talk to our friends if they were dating these people.
This is actually about love. It's
really about love. I mean, that's the thing. So
what, are we going to go out of our... I mean, and there's been fan favorites that we've absolutely simped for so hard.
Of course. But of course. Right? Because we really liked them.
Tasha and what's his face? I can't remember his name anymore. Zach.
I mean, you didn't like Zach for a long time.
I didn't, but then at the
actually,
end,
he wasn't a fan favorite for a long time.
No.
No, there's plenty of fan favorites that we love.
Zach,
did you see how hard we simped for Tyler? Do you remember Tyler Cameron? We called him our Lord and Savior. Yeah. We made an altar to him.
Also, I called Zach creepy dad, but like I never said that he's like, oh no, I don't know about this guy. I just thought he was weird.
Yeah, no.
I thought he was weird.
But that's the thing. And that's the truth of the matter is that we're not going to just try to be...
what do you think Jess and I are sit and plan out and be like, I think everyone's going to like Greg, so let's do the opposite and hate him.
No, it's actually really not fun to not like the fan favorite because people get really, really, really angry and they send you really, really scary messages. Oh, I've gotten some scary messages the past couple weeks from a lot of burner accounts. Let's just say I haven't been checking my DMs since The Bachelor started.
Greg's sister. Okay. So
let's
here's
get
what
into
happened.
that. Now that we've defended ourselves, sorry, that might have been very obnoxious, but we wanted to make the lay of the land.
I don't like these claims that are
the claims
ridiculous.
aren't true. And then also, I'm going to say, I don't personally hate Greg or think he's a terrible person. I don't know him.
It's hyperbole.
We're making guesses and it's hyperbole. That's all. I just wanted to say that. Okay, Greg's
and it's
sister.
not solely founded on guesses. I'm just going to throw that out there. So, Katie liked the meme. And then everyone started.
So the meme that Becca put out, by the way, if you haven't...
Here. I'll just read the caption of it real quick.
It's a photo.
We're all on the same page.
It's a photo of Greg with his head in his hands.
Oh, yeah. This is when they were calling out Thomas.
Which I have a lot to say about Thomas, by the way.
Shaking his head. And the caption was, when the guy next to you is being interrogated about wanting to be the Bachelor and you've got to pretend to be disgusted while hiding your acting career aspirations. That is not a bullying meme. You need to stop if you think that's bullying. You need to take a breath. Okay, but anyway.
He hasn't said anything about his acting. He hasn't mentioned it.
That's the thing. Okay, that's also the thing. We're going to get into it, Thomas. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But...
I have a lot of thoughts about the Thomas situation.
Me too. Okay, we'll get there. So Katie liked it. Then people in the comments were like, Katie liked it! So
Katie liked this meme and people were screenshotting it and it was going all over all these big Bachelor accounts. So people were seeing that Katie liked the meme that we had about Greg, which was it was a shady meme.
Yeah.
It was a funny shady meme.
Shady is the perfect word for it.
It was shady.
Yes.
Katie liked it. People started losing their minds. Now, Greg's sister commented on the post and she came for Katie. She didn't come for us. Actually, she might have. I didn't. She might have also commented about us too. I'm not sure.
Should we look it up to see what she said?
We can, yes. But I'll just tell you the synopsis of that. She was saying that it was very disappointing, that Katie would like this meme, considering that Katie was trying to stand up and say that she didn't like the mean girl vibes from her season.
Okay, here.
Thank you.
Here's the comment. At Katie likes this post, but was such a supporter of removing the toxicity in Mean Girls when she was on Matt's season. You'd think if those intentions were genuine, she'd have just as much of an issue with this post as well. Really disappointed in this.
Okay. Hey. Hey, here's my thing. If my sibling was on reality TV, would I come out swinging against every person
of course.
Who didn't like them? Of course. You better believe my sister goes on Temptation Island one day, and if people are saying negative things about her, I will be vicious. Okay? So I understand. But justice for Katie, because those two are so not connected.
Oh my God.
I can't even.
And I'm sorry, you're going to call that particular meme toxic?
No.
And mean girlish? No. It's
no,
just
no,
not. It's just categorically not.
You can call us that if you want to.
That could be true.
But like, I'm not saying that, you know, sometimes.
Liking that meme is supporting toxicity and mean girl behavior? No.
Unless she was saying her supporting us at all. That she's supporting
I think she said liking this post. She said particularly, she said, you'd think if those intentions were genuine, she'd have just as much of an issue with this post as well. She didn't say with this podcast. She said this post.
Okay. Yeah. Post? That's not. Because it's like, okay, it's one thing if she was talking about the podcast because we have come so hard for Greg.
Sure.
And again, it's the sister, so I get it.
Sure. No, Katie, she's talking about Katie specifically liking this post.
She was calling out Katie. And I just want to say justice for Katie because also, was it interesting that she liked the post? Yes. But then his sister commented that and then she unliked it. Understandably, the world was exploding.
The world was on fire. Also, you wonder if that's a little producer thing being
also, you wonder if the producer was seeing that all of a sudden everybody was posting about that she liked that about the fan favorite. And maybe the producer was like, hey, not yet. Not yet.
Okay, which brings to another point which you brought up, which was, do we think maybe baby sis or big sis, I don't know who she is actually, is maybe getting a little preemptively defensive about some depiction of her brother?
Methinks perhaps the sister knows that something sour is coming and is getting quite defensive. I'm going to tell you right now what my prediction is. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm dripping everywhere.
Oh, no.
Sorry, my coffee. This is my prediction.
Preach it to us, prophetess.
Also, by the way, speaking of prediction, please stop sending spoilers because thank God, knock on wood, I haven't seen any yet, but a bunch of people have sent messages that said like, it said spoiler alert, and if I would have kept swiping, I would have seen it.
Yeah.
So thank goodness I didn't, and thank goodness those posts do those spoiler alerts first now. But please just don't send any because I really want to stay spoiler free.
I know. Thankfully, I haven't gotten any.
I got a bunch. Okay. This is my prediction. I think it's Greg's to lose. Now that Blake's here, I don't know after seeing that connection.
I don't think there's any spoilers out there about Greg that I even know of. Like, I've heard buzzings about spoilers surrounding certain people, but like, I don't even think there's anything out there.
Then maybe this is going to be, this is maybe a new idea that I'll throw out.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that it's Greg's to lose minus Blake's. I know she likes a couple of the other. I should say this too. There's also numerous guys that we haven't gotten to know at all yet. And so there's a chance that there's a sleeper. You know how that works. Sometimes all of a sudden halfway through the season, the Lauren Lyndyke type character comes out. And you're like, where did that come from?
Connor's pretty strong, for instance.
That's true. That's true.
The chemistry is...
Yeah. So I think though that it's still Greg's going to be Greg's to lose. I believe in my...
What does that mean?
That she will choose Greg and that it is going to be his choice.
He's going to botch it.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
I believe deep in my soul that he will get to top 2 and that he will leave before the final rose. Shit. I feel it in my gut. I believe with everything in my gut that he is going to be like, yes, I love you, we're good, da 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 da. And all of a sudden the pressure will be on. And one of two things will happen. Either one, he's like, oh my gosh, this is actually too much and I don't think I'm ready to get engaged. And he pieces and it's genuine. Or two, he was hoping to be the bachelor perhaps. And it's a little bit
like a Maddie.
I'm going to pull a Maddie and be like, it's just too much and too overwhelming. I still love you, but like, I can't commit, and try to like, you know, pull it off in a kind way, which is always tough when you're getting to like the top. But like Brendan got to what? He was top 3. And when he left, you had no angst against Brendan in your heart because you were like, no, this man genuinely is like still
conflicted,
hung up and conflicted. Yeah. So maybe we'll find out more about Greg where he can do that. But I believe in my soul that he's going to walk away. And I believe it's that Katie is going to be devastated.
I sort of have this weird feeling that there's going to be like some sort of outsider involvement with Greg's narrative.
Oh, okay. So like an ex, perhaps. We haven't had an ex show up in a while.
I don't know about like an ex showing up.
I
mean, that would be good.
Like a family member, like during like hometowns, a family member maybe like being like, this isn't...
Hometowns, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if a family member like slips up and says something even about like being an actor, like doing a one-on-one talk with Katie.
Oh, and then it gets
and then they'll be like, wait, he hasn't told you?
Yeah.
And Katie would be like, why the fuck haven't you told me that like you're an actor?
Interesting. Very interesting.
Which could be another reason, like maybe
that's why Katie liked the post.
No, I was gonna say maybe that's why Katie kept it. That's why ABC kept it out of his bio. Maybe he didn't even hide it in his bio stuff, but he hid it from Katie, and then that's gonna come out on the season, and so it's gonna be like sort of this big reveal thing. I don't know. It could be.
It could be. The thing with Katie, this is then where the only reason that I would like have a question mark with that is that Katie is so reasonable.
But what if he's tripping up and being weird about it?
That's true. He'd have to be being weird because Katie is one of those people she's so understanding and she's logical. That's like the whole thing with Thomas, honestly, when the whole thing was starting to go down, where it's like before the guy started saying something, when he said, even in the circle of emotions, when he was like, hey, I didn't think anything was really going to come of this, and I was, thinking I would come on and help my platform and blah blah blah. Like, she didn't have a crazy reaction to that. She was like, yeah. And with the Bachelor thing with Thomas too, it's like, I don't have a problem with him thinking about the idea of that. Of course, everyone has thought about that. It's more him coming on with not thinking about the love at all and just thinking about Bachelor.
Do you want to get into that now? Is there anything else we want to cover with?
Oh no, just to wrap it with the meme. So Greg's sister said that. Katie then unliked it.
I think she might have unliked it before. That's comment.
There's a chance that she unliked it before.
People immediately were commenting she liked it, and then people right underneath it were like she unliked it. So I think the minute people started blowing up about her liking it, I think she unliked it. I think it was before the sister's comment.
Okay. Well,
not that it really matters.
Take that as you will. Because I believe in my heart that Katie has been commenting and or liking things that are a little breadcrumby. But then...
I know, I feel like Katie can't help but say a little bit too much.
But then right after she liked and unliked that post, like a day later, she liked a tweet that was like complimentary of Greg, and people were like, "Are you now trying to put a Band-Aid on this?
She's trying to throw it off.
You're tricky, and I love it. Yeah, like But
the girl gives away too much. I think not in the best way, not too much for me.
No, please keep giving us more. But no, she can't help it. I love it. I'd be the exact same fucking way. I'd be like, a little here and there, and be like
100%
little breadcrumb.
Remember when she came on my live and was giving tips on my possum situation?
You stop that right now. I got chills all over my legs.
Remember when she tweeted about this episode and she said this might be my favorite episode yet, about this one with Blake coming on?
And the fact of the matter is this, let's be honest. A chunk of the episode was kind of a snooze.
Yeah, definitely. When she said this is her favorite episode, I'm like, oh, was Thomas your favorite part of the episode?
What's your favorite part of the episode? Interesting. Very interesting.
Do you want to just talk about the Thomas stuff?
Yeah, let's get into the Thomas stuff.
Give me your thoughts on the whole situation, because I think we might disagree a little bit on the Thomas stuff.
Okay. I still believe that Thomas is slimy. I believe there's no way that he's not going to be on Paradise. Obviously, he's going on Paradise.
Ovio.
I think we'll find out more about him. The question will be, will he become a slimier character in Paradise, or will he have a Crystal Chris Randone redemption arc where then he becomes beloved by people if he whatever. But I think he's slimy. I also think he threw that comment in during the rose ceremony where he's like, the men don't like me because I know how to talk, and I can't help that I know how to do that, and it's something I'm good at. And so you're like, okay, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the way that I did not like the way that the men handled the situation at all.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I was so team Andrew S on this episode. I was like chanting Andrew S's name. How Andrew S was just like, stop getting involved. Just stop.
I get that, but then I was also a little confused on, like, Andrew S was really getting tweaked about it. He was like, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad. I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, what?
I feel like the reason Andrew S got tweaked is kind of just like the getting like cornered situation, like because he was completely alone and let's be real. When Andrew S initially...
Oh, you think like he was worried about being the only one that opposed Trey talking to her?
I'm thinking because he was, when they had the initial conversation on during the nighttime portion of the group date, when he initially was like, hey, why bring up the Thomas thing, and all the guys kind of jumped on him. My thought, and then by the way, Trey got the rose.
Yeah, and then he's panicking, like, this is going to reflect so badly on me.
Right, now it's like, okay, they're going to get Thomas out. Am I next?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Because so far, the men have unionized and gotten out every person that they don't like. They got Cody out. That was mostly Aaron, but they got Cody out. They got Carl out, and now they got Thomas out.
They're good at this.
So they're so good at this. They've realized that being a united front is important and it works.
Take notes, future contestants.
Take big time notes. And now Andrew S might be, they might have an eye out
for sure.
Him.
Okay, that makes actually, yep, that makes a lot more sense. I thought he was yes.
You thought he was what?
No. I just was confused. I thought it was just, I was confused why he was so heated about like Trey talking to her about Thomas, because I was just like, why is he getting so upset? Like, does he have something to hide? Like, I was just kind of confused on that. But I think that makes sense of him being worried about the only one who was opposed to it, and then everyone turning on him.
And I think the defensiveness also too came from the reaction that he got at the nighttime portion of the group date when he just said, why are we still talking about this guy? She told us to trust her judgment. And he kept saying, he's like, she's gonna be good. She knows, she's fine. Yeah. And they all like were like, oh, so you don't have her best intention, and kind of came for him. So I think, when you get cornered like that, then all of a sudden some people, I'm like this, you corner me, I all of a sudden double down in my beliefs, or that I'm like, no, whatever. Yeah. But
well, and also like, I just think them coming for him so hard about him the way they this is what frustrated me. The way that they all spun it to Katie was like, it was like a sneaky thing about they found out that he wanted to be the Bachelor, instead of what she clarified to Katie when they had their one-on-one talk. Thomas clarified being like, they asked me, have you ever considered being the Bachelor? Yes. And I answered honestly. Yes. And I said like, yes, it had come to mind. And that was kind of weird to me that Katie reacted in that situation, just being like, there are men in there. She said like, there are men in there, who have never once considered that, which I think is true. But I'm also like, wait, girl, you're telling me that you never once thought about the possibility of being the Bachelorette? Like,
everybody thinks about it.
So that's
there's no way.
I was kind of like, that seems like a little bit like, hypocritical is a strong word, but that seems like a little bit silly to me to pass such a judgment on him for him just answering honestly, like, yes. In fact, I think it would be so much more of a red flag if they were like, have you ever considered being the Bachelor? And he was just like, no.
Yeah, because personally for me, anytime on the show, when anyone is super like adamant about how they've never considered that, I'm always like, I don't trust you at all anymore. Totally. Because everybody's thought about it. I'm sorry. And that's the thing though. And that's the thing with Katie, where I'm like, I feel like Katie's super reasonable, where she kept saying, even when she was talking to like Caitlin and Tayshia, where she's like, I don't have a problem with it. Everybody, like, you're all thinking about that. It's the going in with love not even really being on the table that's my concern.
Which I guess like I feel like that he wasn't saying that.
I didn't think that either, but then I feel like the way that then the men, because all the men kept saying too, even like Connor B was,
I know Connor B was heated.
Connor was just like, I liked Thomas, but then Thomas, I don't trust Thomas anymore. So I feel like there's obviously something going on behind the scenes when like all the guys are saying like, I liked Thomas, but now Thomas has been spinning all these different narratives. And you hear the way that he talks to Katie where you're like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
You won't answer a question.
Oh, for sure.
Like, you're obviously shady and hiding something. Also, by the way, you know, I found out that he's 6'6". So
holy shit.
This is a tall beast of a man.
Holy fuck.
Who
I could not
is
tell that.
So hot. And now the idea of all these guys like yelling at him and him kind of just like standing over all these guys being like, well, I've considered being the Bachelor. Just makes the whole scenario funnier to me. Yeah, he is like a handsome, big guy. Like wow. he's an intimidating, I'm sure, for the men.
Well, I don't like the whole narrative circulating around this whole Bachelor thing. And if that was the most that they had to say about him, it's kind of like, guys, leave it the fuck alone. Like, this is ridiculous. I know you don't like him, but that's about it. You know what it reminded me of? On Pete's season with, what's her name?
What's her face? Alea.
Reminded me of the Alea situation.
Yep, like they don't like Alea.
I know she's annoying. I know she might have like kind of shady vibes.
Yep.
She's a pageant girl, whatever. It's all a lot of show and she might be kind of fakey fake. But the girl hasn't done anything wrong. Big. For Pete's sake.
Totally. A great, oh my, a great comparison. Totally Alea. You know, I heard Nick briefly, I heard a clip from his podcast talking about Thomas from this episode. And Nick was saying, he's like, I met Thomas. Okay. He's like, let me say this about him. He talks a lot. He's like, I'm not saying that he's not shady and didn't have like weird vibes.
Yeah, it wasn't high.
He's like,
something.
but he was like justice for Thomas in the fact that like everything these people, like all the guys were saying, he's like, it was too much. Like, it's not
blown out of proportion.
It was completely blown out of proportion. Again, like the Alea thing, where it's like
nothing to talk to the lead about.
No reason to be causing a union to get someone out, right? Versus like I was very much in support of the Carl union because this man was getting
he was straight up lying.
He was straight up lying and causing like drama from like. And here's the thing. Carl's drama wasn't about Carl. He was putting it on all the other people, saying there are all these guys out here for the wrong reasons. Thomas isn't saying anything negative about anybody else.
And look, even for all the shit we've been giving Greg, if all of the men unionized against him right now, would I take delight in it? Yes. Would I think it was just? No. And we would be like, this isn't fair.
Of course not.
Is Thomas my favorite person on the show? Heck no. And the dude does have red flags, but like
completely. And yeah, I feel the same exact way with Greg. If all of a sudden, let's just say
the men are like, he's fake.
Yeah, let's just say one of the guys found out, you know, Connor B found out that Greg went to acting school.
Yeah.
Like what we found out.
Sure.
And he starts telling all the guys in the place that Greg went to acting school. And then they confront Greg about it. And Greg goes, yeah. And then they start telling Katie about it. Listen.
It's like, no.
No, it's not okay. I'd be like, no, you need to stop. If Greg wants to tell Katie that, now, you know, I know you want the lead to not be blindsided, sure. But at the end of the day, there's still...
The Bachelor thing was like... He wasn't like trying to... I don't know.
Yeah,
he wasn't goofy.
He said it. He told... In the circle of emotion, he said in front of Katie to her face, and all the guys, or half of the guys saw it, he specifically said to her that... Are you looking for your phone? Yes. You threw it, right?
Yeah. No, I picked it up.
Oh, you chucked it when we were talking about Blake or Greg. But yeah, it's like he told Katie to her face that he initially wasn't on there for her, and he was on there for the platform. So he's already said this to her. Katie is aware.
Yes.
So now you're just really driving it home by specifically saying The Bachelor, but she already knows, which is why I was in support of Andrew S. When Andrew S. was like, she told us to just trust her. Like, she knows, she's got this.
Yeah.
She's aware. And cut to the week before, by the way, where she had the sit down with Thomas and he panicked and then interrupted Aaron. And she was not vibing on Thomas. She did not give Thomas the rose. She got a little bit like, flustered with Thomas again, but was still like, I don't know. I believe Katie would have figured it out.
I think so too, but so with their talk and then after, you know, all the guys are getting all upset about it, their whole cocktail thing. What did you think about...
This is the narrative, by the way. We could literally go step by step through the episode, but the fact of the matter is this narrative went in and out and in and out of every single moment
line. Yes,
of the whole episode. This was the main storyline of the episode.
Wonder, why did Katie say it was her favorite episode? Yeah.
Interesting.
There's only a couple other elements of the episode that were major. Mm-hmm. And it rhymes with flake.
But that he is not.
No.
He shows up when you need him to.
Okay. What did you think, though, about how she sent him home at the rose ceremony?
Okay.
Because this was very, like, I was like, what
this was out of left field. And it also made me go, what are we missing? Because again, Katie is really reasonable.
Do you think maybe the girls just hyped her up and the guys hyped her up? I think it's just that. I don't believe there's anything concrete, or they would have shown it.
Probably. Unless, again, they're going to try to give him a certain narrative on BIP.
Yeah, but I mean,
and they're trying to like craft, but
even Chris Randone and Crystal and all those people got their own like redemption arc, even though they looked horrible.
She's behind the scenes with producers. Caitlin and Tasha are like, go get him, girl. Like, you tell him what's up. I saw people comparing it to the Hannah Brown moment. Remember when she moved the podium from Luke on with the Final Four? Remember, like, and he was like, please talk to me. And she like kept moving the thing past and was like, leave now. Like, it was that that powerful moment.
But the Luke situation was so different in the moment.
Yeah,
that's where I was like, wait, whoa. What was this whole like your Bachelor audition ends tonight?
The other thing I was thinking about truly was just pure absolute exhaustion.
Yeah.
So when the guys, they can't find Thomas and Katie, and they're all sitting at the cocktail party, and Thomas comes back and is like, hey guys, I didn't want to, interrupt, and I figured I'd talk to Katie so that you guys didn't have to deal with, me interrupting cocktail party. And Christian goes, it's midnight, dude. So by the time Katie showed up to the cocktail party to hang with numerous of the guys, she had been talking with Thomas for forever, and it was already midnight. So by the time the rose ceremony, Blake tweeted that when Katie showed up at his door, it was 5 a.m. That's why he was sleeping.
Yeah, duh.
So this is probably 3 or 4 a.m. And part of me is just like, she's fucking over it. She's exhausted. She's been talking to Thomas, and I'm sure beforehand.
Actually we probably didn't see a lot of conversations with her with other guys at the cocktail party who were probably hyping her up about Thomas.
Well, she said too, right? Remember, she said in the ITM, she was like, minus Michael, sweet Michael, who just made it about
the respite of the night.
Honestly,
thank God.
Michael, we see you. We love you. Minus Michael, she was like, every single guy, all they want to talk about is fucking Thomas.
Which, for me, my petty ass would be like, I'm going to punish all of you, and I'm keeping this guy the next week. Why don't you shut the fuck up about the other guys, and why don't you focus on me? Okay? So how about I keep him around so you guys can show some self-control and act like big boys?
For real. I'm like, what is Thomas doing to hurt you? If he's hurting anybody, he's hurting me.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you to fucking chill and just ask me about who I am.
Yeah, don't give me this white knight bullshit, Trey, about how you have to... I mean, I do like Trey.
I love Trey. I think that what we're seeing right now...
Trey wasn't too bad in his presentation of it to her either.
No, he wasn't trying to make Thomas sound like a terrible person, I don't think. I also just fucking loved Trey throughout the rest of the episode with like the truth or dare. Him and Christian, their friendship, I'm devastated Christian's gone. Because I loved their like little friendship when Christian's fucking waxing his ass.
Oh, we'll talk about that group date because I really liked it.
It was so fun. But I am like... I love Trey. I feel... Was
that the whole episode was just their group date and the rose ceremony?
Correct. And Blake showing up.
And Blake, but...
That's it.
God damn.
I know. It was the Thomas show. Now, I believe in my heart, I think this group of men they're amazing.
I do too.
I love these guys so much.
You can see their little camaraderie and it's really cute.
I love them. And I feel like any problem that I have with any of them is me being super nitpicky because it's like, you know, again, for entertainment to talk about something. So you got to hone in on that shit. But I do believe a lot of like the frustration with Thomas does come from just the grind, right? It's the typical producer.
You're stuck in the
late
house,
night. You can't fucking talk. You can't.
He won't shut up.
And like Nick said, he won't stop talking. So he probably is nonstop talking. You know, he's also nonstop talking about himself.
And probably like little motivational advice and things like that, you know?
And like he said, he's like, the guys are jealous because they don't know how to talk like me. He's also a very well-to-do real estate agent who I guess does really well. You know, he just is always talking about how much money he probably has and telling all the guys what to do. He's probably
giving
so
them business
fucking
advice
annoying
when they're not asking
yeah,
for it.
They probably
that
feel
kind of
really
thing.
belittled by him all the time.
Yeah.
And he's just that guy. So you're just like, dude, get him out. So
yeah.
any chance of that guy being out, it's just like, get him the fuck out of here. Like for real, for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really do. I love all the guys. Minus my nervousness about Greg. I love all the guys.
I'm trying to think if there's any others I have a supreme distaste for, and I don't really think so.
And even like one of my maybe minus of course our son Blake. My favorite moment in the whole episode was when Aaron goes, "Don't yell at me." It was like my favorite when Andrew like raised his voice, where it's like and Aaron, Aaron's like, "Don't yell at me." Don't disrespect me.
I wrote this down. Aaron goes, what is he saying? He's going, be respectful. Be respectful.
Because it hurt his feelings. Like you could tell.
He's so sensitive.
He's so sensitive. The way that like he loves, like, you know, like he loves Andrew and he's like, we're friends. And then Andrew raised his voice at him and it like really hurt him.
Hey,
don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. I love Aaron. I know he causes drama. I fucking love him.
Be respectful.
Be respectful. I don't even really have a huge problem with Thomas. That's what I'm saying. Like
Aaron's like someone who would probably break into tears if someone said anything mean about his mom today.
Oh my God, 1000%.
He would just be like,
that really hurts, bro. Like there's a line. There's a line and you just like, I don't know if I can talk anymore, dude.
Oh man, you know, if you're in a relationship with him, he would be the worst when it comes to arguments because he would just like, he would be so sensitive.
So sensitive.
I think he's such a sweet guy though.
I love him so much. I really hope he's in paradise. I would be surprised if he wasn't because he is so.
I enjoy watching him too.
I enjoy watching him again. He was coming this week again with the analogies. He compared Thomas to fucking climate change. He was like, he's on an iceberg. The climate change is shifting. It's melting. The tides are rising, and it's like he called him a cancer again.
I know. That might have been a voiceover. I was wondering too. Like, did he call him a cancer again, or was I think they were playing the clip. I'm pretty sure they were doing a voiceover.
Could you know, I could kind of see together, and I don't know why this is so out of left field, but I feel like I could see Aaron and Demi together. I feel like they would be wrecking balls together, but like kind of in the most fun way. Like, I don't know if that relationship would work, but it would be wild and it would be
interesting.
Fun.
That's interesting.
Because they're both super, like, over the top and, like, dramatic, but I think
fun. They could be besties.
Right?
I could see that. I don't know about a couple, but...
I just picture them, like I said, not a couple that works, but, like, a couple just, you know, kind of coming for everyone on the beach. You know what I mean? I just feel this in my soul. Them just being like, hey, they're next. And then just like talking shit about them or whatever.
Is Demi gonna be in paradise again?
I have no idea.
I don't want to see anyone that's not in the past 2 years. And I know we're going to be seeing so many people from like the past 6 years.
I sent you, I know numerous people, right? It's going to be huge, broads. Like this paradise is jumbo size. Like they, you know, kind of joked about it being gigantic. It's going to be absolutely gigantic.
I don't want to see anyone pre-Hannah Brown season. That feels like decades ago.
We're going to see people.
We're going to see a lot.
We're going to see so many people. There's a lot of like past, like I'm shook by the cast list. At least the ones that I know of. good Lord in heaven.
You know who I think is going to have a sleeper moment on this season? Who I predict in about 2 episodes is going to have a one-on-one and is going to really rise to the top is Justin. Yeah. He hasn't had a moment yet, which I think is interesting, aside from all his facial expressions, which I do love. But I think that it'll be like about 2 episodes and he's going to have a one-on-one. He's going to have a one-on-one and it's going to be like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, you know that I'm highly attracted to Justin. I'm really hoping that we get to know him a little bit because we really don't. And I do enjoy watching his facial expressions. Yeah. You know who I really do want to get to know too, who I have like a massive crush on is Courtney.
Oh yeah, Courtney's still there, and I mean, when it was the top of the episode with him talking to Thomas while he's just casually lifting weights. I like his energy a lot, and we said that from the top. Like I liked his vibe. I'm like, I don't know anyone else who can pull off a cunnilingus joke.
The way that he was on that platform, shirtless, just like in kind of this meditative. He's like the desert is behind him. He's on this platform, just alone, lifting weights, and Thomas comes up to him, and the way he just handles Thomas. And the way he talked about it in the interview, too. Yeah, it was like he was honest with Thomas. He didn't pretend to be his best friend, but he also was like mellow with him.
He's not caught up in the drama, but he's straightforward. You know, he's like, I'm not really about this guy.
And he is hot, hot, hot. He's got major sexy energy.
I like him. Who do you think he'll be with in Paradise?
I hope he goes on Paradise. There's so many good guys on this season that I really want to see on Paradise.
Yeah, I really like his
There are so many good guys on Tayshia's season that I want to see on Paradise. We've had some really good, and then Matt's, I don't know. That's why, like you were saying, I do wish they weren't bringing people from the past. There are so many good people
that we want to get to know them more.
The past couple episodes, or the past couple seasons that like...
But there's some solid fan favorites, you know, from the past.
Do you know who I have not seen, who's been like really active on social media, which makes me very much assume she's not on the beach right now because they have been filming, and I'm devastated. Devastated is Victoria Fuller.
I knew you were going to say her name. I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
Dude. Hey, BIP, what a waste.
Maybe she didn't want to go on.
I could see her not doing that because
she seems like she's doing well, like on Instagram. I think she could just be like, this shit is bullshit.
Yeah, she's already
dated Chris, you know.
She's already like has the type of energy that's like, I'm not doing this again after like the shit show that was her getting just demolished.
Did she break up with Chris before Nick got with his girlfriend?
Big smirks. I think Nick had been with his girlfriend for a while.
But I think they've been like in the talking
I think it was a crossover between the two. I always thought that those two were gonna...
I didn't see them in a relationship, but I wondered if they hooked up ever.
I just feel like she is so his type, and like he is so her type.
I just think that they're probably a little too volatile to be in a relationship together.
Probably.
I don't think that would be a particularly healthy relationship.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if they ever hooked up.
I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me.
Me neither. Sorry, Nick.
That's a hot vibe. But I'm absolutely devastated
with all respect.
Because honestly, what a waste. Because Victoria Fuller walking on that beach would have been a bombshell. Everyone would be quaking.
Well, and Pete's going to be on it, isn't he?
I don't know.
I think he will be.
I haven't seen any confirmation of that, but I've heard the rumblings. I heard that.
Do you think Maddie will be?
I don't know.
Oh my god!
There are so many. I don't know.
All right,
but Victoria Fuller not being on is a waste because that is the potential of so much drama.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I still to this day believe that she is the most beautiful woman that has like potentially ever been on our Bachelor screens. And I feel like her in Paradise, everyone would be shaking. And I feel like her and Noah would have like, I don't know.
I would have loved to have seen that.
I just feel like they would have had crazy chemistry. And she's a Christian now. She did a whole thing where she like did an interview and said like she's not going to have sex before marriage anymore. Like she is like,
oh, that would have been a great storyline on Paradise.
Right? And I feel like her and Noah like really would have like, I feel like that chemistry would have been wild.
They would have had difficulty remaining abstinent for the Lord.
Yes, they would have.
Now, what about this? This would have even been a wilder storyline. What if her and Mike connected? Mike the Virgin.
Oh my God.
And he just would not be like, he would be so, it would be, maybe she is going to come on like maybe she's going to be one of those people that comes on like week 5.
And maybe they've been like really, really sneaky and like maybe she's been having a friend post stuff for her or something like that.
Oh my God, I should put tabs on her Instagram.
I hope so.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Also, everyone's been talking about Mike and Maddie.
Oh,
and I'm like, that totally makes sense.
That seems obvious. Oh, I could see it. And I might have to ship it.
I might have to ship Mike and Maddie, and I might have to ship Victoria and Noah.
I love these Christian couples. Wholesome.
So wholesome. Before we get into some more, Broads, I had a thought recently with everything opening up again, bars, restaurants, gyms, all the things I had spent the last 18 months missing. I actually got so overwhelmed with the thought of re-frequenting these places. I swear I had a whole afternoon going back and forth trying to figure out how these experiences that I'd missed so much could bring so much dread now, like all the social anxiety. But you know what? That's normal. And honestly, after the year we had collectively, pretty much anything you're feeling is normal. And it's more important than ever to have someone qualified to listen to you and walk you through everything you're feeling and experiencing right now.
Talkspace has made it more convenient than ever to get the help and support you need. The whole thing's done online and it's tailored completely to your schedule. And through their online app, you'll be matched with one of their expert therapists that specialize in dozens of different areas, including anxiety, depression, relationship issues, and so many more areas. Then you're going to be able to send and receive unlimited messages with your dedicated therapist right from the app. And you can even schedule live video sessions with your therapist.
And Broads, if you've ever tried to get mental health help before, then you know the cost can be downright outrageous. And for a lot of people, that is the reason that they can't access the help that they need, which is terrible. Listen, Talkspace wants everyone to be able to get help and support, which is why their services cost a fraction of traditional in-person therapy.
Yeah. Start feeling better with a single message. Match with a licensed therapist when you go to Talkspace.com and get $100 off your first month with promo code CHATTY. That's $100 off when you use code CHATTY at Talkspace.com.
Broads, we can't all live in a breezy seaside escape. In fact, if you live in a big city, there's a good chance your outdoor area is filled with the sounds of a busy highway or your neighbor's TV. And yes, I'm speaking from experience here, but with a little help from Article and a little bit of imagination, any outdoor space can be transformed into the summertime seaside retreat of your dreams. If you don't believe me, you have to check out Article's newest collection for yourself. Full of natural materials with pops of bold blues and yellows. Really, even the least inspiring of outdoor spaces can be turned into something you love with Article.
Article is the fastest, easiest, and most reasonably priced way to make your space beautiful. They combine the curation of a boutique furniture store with the ease of online shopping, so you don't have to dread furniture shopping anymore. And it's okay, you can admit it. Furniture shopping is typically kind of a drag. Between the crazy wait times, the wildly high prices, and the overabundance of options, it's not exactly an enjoyable task, and it can be really overwhelming for a lot of people. They're like, I don't even know how to start. But with Article, that's all changed.
Article's team focuses on just a few curated design aesthetics, which makes picking out pieces that go together super easy, and everything that's in stock ships quickly for free on orders of over $999, and the prices, Broads. Wow. No middlemen and no showrooms means you're saving up to 30% over traditional retail prices and not compromising on any of the quality. They have great quality stuff at Article.
Article is offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. Go to article.com/chatty and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout. That's article.com/chatty. You're going to get $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. We talked Thomas, which was basically the main part. Before we talk about our absolute god of a man, should we talk about that group date that was so fun?
Yes. I loved this group date, although it was literally an exact copy of Claire's.
It was Tayshia's.
Tayshia's?
It was the exact copy.
All the way down to the spicy proposal.
The spicy proposal. The only difference was they had when they made the guys eat, it was like bugs and shit and gross stuff
just
instead
large
of
amounts.
highly caloric foods, which when I tell you I was screaming when they lifted the top off and I saw all those Twinkies and the guys were just like, bro, do you know how much work I put into this? I'm doing keto right now, bro.
Like say I haven't eaten carbs in 10 years.
I was like, oh my God. I'm like, bring me on this damn show. The swiftness of which I could have eat that plate of Twinkies or that entire cake.
I don't think I could eat one Twinkie.
Girl, you're talking to the pie eating contest winner for like 3 years in a row at my school.
Really?
Yeah, I can shovel it when I need to. A sweet hot dog eating contest type stuff.
Oh, that's me. That's all me.
You can do that? Yeah,
I love hot dogs.
I love hot dogs too, but I can't eat it quick. But a cake,
no, that's disgusting.
A Twinkie, I can just...
Only in America would you try to see how many hot dogs someone could eat in 5 minutes.
It's true. We just love to waste.
And you've watched it, right? When people, they
dip it in the water. Yeah, no, I can't talk about that. The water dip makes me feel really sick.
Imagine dipping a hot dog bun in water and then... Oh my God, I can't.
Oh my God, if you don't have a gag reflex, like that is...
I feel like the older I get, the more visceral, like talking about these sort of things. Does it make you like way more nauseous than maybe like 10 years ago?
Hey, wet food? I can't handle it.
No, we've already talked about this. No.
I feel so sick.
When you have to stick your hand down the garbage disposal.
No, you know. You know what is the worst thing?
What?
Is on the side of the sink that catches stuff that things get like because they can't go all the way through because the holes are too small. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Of course I do.
Okay. And now if some idiot decides to wash the dish, aka I love you, Evan, but for the love of God, please stop.
There's a garbage disposal on one side for a reason.
It's right. It's literally right there. Why are you washing the dish with the food on it on the other side? Just move it 2 inches.
Now, I've lived in a couple houses that don't have garbage disposals. And when I tell you that is rough.
Oh, man.
Like if I had to choose between dishwasher, garbage disposal, I'd pick garbage disposal. I mean, I'm going to be real.
I do put a lot of food into the trash.
I do too, but there's the little...
It's those little bitty bits. Yeah. Oh. Ooh. Oh, I don't do well with a sponge. Oh. Makes me feel so sick. Anywho.
Or even soapy water, like for people who fill, like instead of washing an individual dish when you fill up a tub. Oh my God, Jess, did you ever?
My mom does that. It's disgusting.
Do you remember at summer camp where they'd have a slop bucket on each table where everyone would scrape all of their leftovers into the bucket?
I'm starting to actually have when the acid is coming up your throat burning.
Yeah, you start getting a little cramp under your chin. Did they have that at summer camp? Yeah, the bucket, and it would be like a leftover bleach bucket, and everyone it'd be milk and it'd be bread and it'd be corn.
I kind of have a Final Destination brain a little bit, where every moment of every day is me looking around at things being like, oh, what if that happened about everything? Like anytime I walk under a bridge, even if I'm having an active, fun conversation with my friends, I'm like, oh, this is going to fall on me. That's just, my brain is like that all the time. Constant paranoia. And when I would every time I see or think about that bucket, I would walk by it and I would just have a vision of myself having to chug it. That's what my brain goes. And then this is, ooh, man.
I think about that with porta potties. I always think what if someone tipped it over?
Oh, yeah. I think about it bursting. Whenever I'm on it, I'm like, oh, it's gonna. Also, one time I was on a missions trip and a bat flew up one of them. And so I always think about getting a bat flying up my ass.
I also think what if we were in some crazy situation where for some reason someone was coming after me, and what if I had to hide in the porta potty in order to survive?
Oh, that's terrifying. But in that, your adrenaline is outweighing the horror of the porta potty for sure. Just if someone's chasing you,
With the thought of it.
Thinking about being chased is That's a top 10 fear for me. I don't like when people chase me. I don't like tag. I've never liked being like that. I like
the fear of it for sure. Like we used to turn off the lights and we'd make my dad like dress up really scary. With like a hood and stuff, and would chase us around the house. And we'd literally and we'd have flashlights. We'd like play that in the house where all the kids would have flashlights. My dad would be like hiding behind closet doors, and someone would be like, ah, and we'd be like literally like about to piss our pants. Just be like, ah.
That was so terrifying. So fun. But also I do love like Halloween Horror Nights. Yeah. So I would imagine I probably would enjoy that. With your
dad in your own home. It was really fun. We'd always beg my dad to do it. We'd have friends over.
Yeah,
and we'd be like, you'd be like so scared, you'd like turn around and run into a wall, you know, and then we'd have to flip the lights on, you know, and be like, is everyone okay?
Take a quick breather, just be like, it's not real, it's not real, it's not real.
We're all 9, just like running into doors, getting concussions.
That's actually really fun. Anywho, so this date and the disgusting.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, they didn't have any wet food, so I would have eaten all of it.
Yeah. I would have pasta. That was my dream. Are you kidding me? My fantasy when they were shoveling that spaghetti into the mouth.
Oh yeah, Greg got the Alfredo. Connor got a chocolate cake, which sounds great to me. Oh, it might have been hot.
Alfredo, shoveling Alfredo. Cold. No, but I mean, I mean the outdoors was probably hot, and shoveling just pounds of pasta into your mouth. Alfredo, it's like milky and it's all hot outside,
coagulating or like bleh.
That's nasty. Anyway, eating.
Talking into the ear.
Okay, now I wish while I'm Team Andrew, I'm also Team Trey. He needs to stop with the accent. Someone tell him to stop.
I loved Andrew during this episode because of the whole, I supported him with the Thomas thing. When dude, it's nonstop.
It's annoying.
It's nonstop. And then he proposed with the accent
I know. And before he did the proposal, I was like, please don't tell me he's going to do it with the accent. And he did. It's like stop. It's not.
The second that
we're not in junior high.
The second that he sits with Katie and is alone with her, it's like a different person. Like it's like Andrew kind of almost puts on this like literal accent and like acts a certain way. And then when he's sitting alone with Katie, he's like so vulnerable and such a sweetheart and he's so precious. But the accent thing, it needs to stop. It needs to stop. Now,
it's so annoying.
Katie, when he whispered in the ear with the accent and all the girls were getting hot and bothered, like they all seemed to like it, I would have been like, oh, no.
I forgot temporarily that it wasn't his real accent. Like, I don't know why. I just sort of, and then I was like, oh, this is really good. And then I was like, oh, I know he's doing this stupid British thing.
I liked what he was saying.
Me too. It was really good.
It was hot and it was also funny. And it was like, I'm like, if you were...
And it wasn't too far,
It wasn't too far, but it was sexy. I'm like, if you were saying this minus the accent, it would have been like 10 out of 10.
Why are you gotta do the accent?
Why are you gotta do the accent? Now, on the flip side of the 10 out of 10 was the Greg whispering situation.
Well, he was also doing a weird accent.
What was his accent? It was like,
I don't know.
Hey, girl. Like,
axe murderer? Was that the accent?
I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna show you all 50 states.
But it was like sort of this like,
I'm gonna bend you over and show you all sort of 50 like, states.
He's like, have you ever heard? It was kind of like this weird, almost like country accent.
Yeah.
Like, everything's bigger in Texas.
And Florida. Florida's long. It's like, oh, God. It was, I'm going to bend you over and show you all 50 states.
That's the last words you hear before you die.
That's horrifying. That is a truly
and he's
horrifying.
Like, I'll show you New York and New Jersey. I was like, what are you talking about?
No, I have no idea what he was talking about. I have no idea. I also just don't even know the preface if I'm going to bend you over and show you all 50 states.
Granted, if you really didn't think that they could hear it, then you're just goofing off with your buddies and being stupid.
That's very true. That's very true.
You're just being dumb.
And he did check beforehand to see, and they were like, no, can't hear you.
Yeah, I mean, then you're just giggling with your friends
when Katie goes, how's Florida? And he was like, oh, like that was actually really funny.
I mean, can you imagine what me and you would do? We would be like, oh, baby. Yeah, I mean, you'd be stupid.
If they said that they couldn't hear me, I would be like, oh, now my shtick is I want them to bleep out every word I say because it'd be funny for the camera.
Wild shit.
I'd say the most insane
Yeah, and
shit
you're also
ever.
gonna say like super vulgar things. Where I'd be like, I'm gonna lick your asshole for 5 hours. Like I'd be saying, yeah, you're just being stupid.
I would say the wildest shit ever because I'd try to get I would want the cameramen to laugh. Yeah, I'd be like going so hard.
I'm giving Greg a pass on this one. He was just being weird and hamming it up for his friends. It's like, I think don't lay too hard.
I think what we've learned is like maybe Greg's not funny. Like he was maybe trying to be really funny, but like he like wasn't funny.
Good thing he's hot is all I'm gonna say.
I know. He's also apparently very tall. He's like 6'3" or 6'4".
Yeah, I was gonna say, are all these guys tall? Because Thomas did not look that tall compared to all of them. So I'm like, are they all 6 foot?
I think they're all pretty tall. Like there's a lot of tall guys. But yeah, I think Greg's like
how tall is Courtney? Because Thomas didn't look that
so tall. Oh my God.
Thomas does not look 6'6" out of all of them.
Drool.
I am so devastated Christian's gone though. Like, okay, so they did the waxing challenge, which was just hilarious. Love seeing them giggle. Talk
about prayers, hopes and prayers that Trey and Christian are on BIP together and that little friendship.
So much commentary.
Blossoms together. I love Christian. I love Trey. My favorite thing about their dynamic, first of all, was that they were like earlier in the episode leaning on the porch together, like talking about Thomas. They're like buds. And then they buddy up in the challenge, and they're like, dude, me and you. Yeah. They're like besties, right? And then like
in class, you have to pick a partner, and it's like,
oh my God, okay.
Stand over here, stand close to me.
Like they talked about
stand
it.
Close to me so they pair us.
They talked about it before they even got there. They're like, dude, if it's a challenge, and like we're definitely like we gotta partner up with each other every time.
I want to like go out with the two of them. Like they just seem so fun.
Be so much fun.
I still want to date Christian.
God, he's so hot, dude.
He's so hot, and I like his personality a lot from what I saw of it.
Me too.
But as we could see, Katie does not seem to have the same taste as us, aside from our son Blake. But we don't want to date our son.
I don't want to date my son.
No, but we admire him.
I admire him. My heart swells when I think of him, but I do want to date Christian.
Yes.
Correct. So no, the fact what I loved so much is that without a fucking beat, he flipped Trey over and waxed his ass. There was none of this toxic masculine bullshit of like, dude, I don't know, I don't want to wax you there, dude. Or Trey being like, dude, I'm not gonna pull my pants down. No, they were game. I know,
and Trey was so cute. Like I've never shown my ass to the man before. I'm like traumatized.
He was being so cute, and then Christian was just ripping the wax off, and he's like, bro, you got more wax on your ass.
Just dying laughing. I just love it. It's so much fun.
I loved it so much. I celebrate the both of them. Truly, I love them. And then the
spicy.
Yeah, and then the peppers.
Now, Greg did not prove himself to be a man in the spicy challenge.
He was not a fan of the spice.
You know who I stand was Trey. Trey did so well. Was it Trey?
Trey, not only did Trey...
Yeah, it was Trey.
Yeah, not only...
The man could handle the spice.
Not only did he not even...
Flinch.
Beautiful proposal.
It was great.
It was a great. I would have liked it. I would have loved if that would have been my actual proposal.
It was good.
And then you saw him right afterwards be like, oh, so he was dying, but he held it in.
Do we think maybe Greg was hamming it up a little bit with the spice?
I think when we saw him chugging the milk afterwards that he was in the middle of a reel.
Self-tape.
he was rounded to during a self-tape. I do think there was some hamming it up going on. And I say that because, sorry to sound shady, but it's true. I rewatched it. It felt like, not that he was hamming up the spice part, but the afterwards, I think that probably the spicy taste was gone in his mouth when he was drinking the milk. And I felt like it was actually a very poor acting job.
You know, it's funny. I saw some comments like that where they're like, well, the thing about Greg being actors, he doesn't seem to be a good one because...
I think that maybe he's good. Yeah, I don't know.
You know what? Regardless of our distaste for him, I can't get my finger on him.
No, I really can't.
He's kind of weird.
I can't. Sometimes there was moments in this episode where I was like, you know what? Maybe he is genuine. Like maybe I'm just not a fan. And maybe this is actually who he is. And then there was other parts in the episode, and I'm gonna take you through those parts.
Tell me.
Greg was interesting to me to watch during the Thomas situation. And I'll tell you why. Because I felt like we saw Greg, when Katie wasn't in the room, wind the guys up a little bit. And then the second Katie was in the room, was quiet as a mouse. So it was almost like letting everyone else do the dirty work for him.
Inciting a little bit, fanning the flame.
And everyone else said something.
Spoke up to her.
Even fucking Connor S.
Do you think they cut it out, what Greg said?
No, because you heard him say one thing.
Oh.
He literally just goes, all the guys were like kind of coming for Thomas. Even Connor S., we haven't even heard like speak.
Yeah.
And then Greg is like, but the most important thing is that we trust your intuition.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And you were like, he was pretty vocal that he was not a fan and that he wasn't on Andrew S.'s side of it, that something needs to be said. And then he kept getting quiet. And then same thing. I keep noticing this and I'm going like, I feel like he's smart. Like he knows that it's not good for him to be the guy who goes and like tattles, but he's also going to wind up. And I think we're going to see it with Blake. I think when Blake gets in the house, we're going to see Greg kind of planting seeds that Blake is one to watch and to be concerned about, but that Greg himself will never say anything to Katie.
Well, I did notice some of the comments that he made to the other guys. Like there was one where he was like, Thomas just seems that he knows what he's doing. And I hate a guy like that. And I'm just like, what?
There were comments. And then also just his time with Katie, what I was really trying to focus in on was like, I really, and Evan and I were talking about this the other day, because Evan doesn't have like a problem with Greg. Evan's thing is like, I just don't think he likes Katie nearly as much as Katie likes him. And that seems to me to be like, even though he was saying after their moment together where he was like, man, I could really see myself falling for her. When anytime they have an interaction, I've just noticed that like she talks a lot and he kind of just sits there like this.
There is for sure like a,
like he's thinking about something else.
He's
like
astral projecting.
He's totally astral projecting. He's in a scene somewhere. Like he's somewhere else. And so that's the other part of me why I think like, oh, he like top two, he's gonna be like,
yeah, he says stuff like, I can't stop thinking about you or whatever. And she's like, me neither. And I'm just like, I don't believe you.
I don't believe it. And again, not in a way that I'm like, call him out for it, but in a way of like, I just feel like you're probably like, he gives me the energy of like, when you're sitting with Katie, you think she's cute and you think she's nice and you're enjoying sitting talking with her, and then the second you get back into the house, you don't think about Katie once and you're having fun with the guys. Do you know what I mean?
You're astral projecting.
You're astral projecting. But I feel like he's really enjoying his time with the guys. I feel like he's got friends there. They're probably talking about old times and whatever and like having a good time. And I just don't feel like he's sitting there awake at night thinking about Katie like I believe Michael is, or like that I believe Connor B is.
No, you know how I feel about Greg is does Greg even have a good time with the guys? Does Greg have a good time?
I don't quite know, I guess. Yeah, he's pretty low key.
Does he have a bad time? Does he have a good time?
The guys all seem to really like him though.
I'm not saying he's either one. I'm just saying, does he seem to have I don't know. I can't see him having a good time or a bad time. He seems like he's just Greg.
He is Greg. Yeah, no, I totally can see. I
just don't see a personality there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you.
I see facts about him. I see Greg imagining what someone in the conversation with Katie would do if they were in love with her. But I don't know sometimes what's really going on inside Greg.
Yeah. He reminds me of someone, and I can't figure out who it is, like someone who was on the show before that gave me that same thing where it was someone who was like handsome and everybody liked. But
was it in a recent season?
I don't think so. But it was like what's going on? Like everyone loves you.
Who are you, guy?
And I get it because you're not threatening in any way. Like you're not polarizing in any way.
Sure.
But there just seems to
Although
not
Greg
be...
is rather polarizing is the irony of it.
Well, I mean, like just to us though.
Well, no, I mean, I've seen people being so vehemently pro Greg, and I have seen people besides us being vehemently anti Greg.
True.
So that's the irony, is he does have a certain sort of polarity, even though his personality to me seems very flatline.
Interesting.
We will see.
Time will see. Time will tell. Now, let's talk about Blake.
More?
Well, we have to talk about what happened.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. This is how we wrap.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes of Blake.
I'm not wrapping this up with anything other than Blake.
Yeah. No, I feel you though. We walk through what actually happened for sure. For sure.
So, interesting fact is that, Katie was wearing the exact outfit that she was wearing when Nick came and did the circle of emotion. So when she talked to Tayshia and when she met Blake. So we are out of order, broads. So she met Blake.
So he's been there. Well, I guess it's not a while. They're not traveling. So it's probably actually been like 4 days tops.
Nick had said that I believe she met Blake before he met up with her. So I think...
Was that the same week technically before the same rose ceremony?
So I think what had happened was they had just had the Carl ejection ceremony. The Carl had just left rose ceremony. The next morning, Tayshia shows up and is like, I have a friend here to see you. She meets Blake, and then I think she goes on the date.
Circle of truth. Next day
talk about that's an exhausting fucking
very
day.
Exhausting day. So wait, circle of truth, then Michael date, then this group date, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
okay, so it's only been like 3 days.
Oh my God.
But yeah.
And think about how much the Carl ejection, that was drama. She's like, guys are here for the wrong reasons.
Oh my God.
Then Blake shows up and she's having to process, should I bring him in? And then the traumatic emotions and her talking about her story and hearing from all the guys. And then Michael with his wife and processing that.
And the whole Thomas fiasco.
And then oh my God.
And so then she's like, please, let's get Blake on here. Okay, yeah, so Blake decides to show up.
And Tayshia's like, gives the intro.
And she kept saying, like, I think you're a really good pair. So I'm just curious about how this all went down. I'm curious if Blake reached out.
Yeah.
If producers reached out to him.
I'm
curious about that
I've
situation.
Heard it alluded to that Blake reached out. That Blake is like, has had the hard eyes literally since Katie stepped out of the limo. Yeah,
and I bet Blake asked to come on from the beginning of the season, and I bet production wanted to keep him and have him make a more dramatic entrance.
Because let's acknowledge something right away about our king, is that the second Katie walked up, by the way, when he turned and he gave that smile to her, my heart exploded. I was like, ah! But the first thing he said to her when she sat down, he's like, I just want to start off by apologizing. I know this is probably really stressful. I love the fact that our king does not show up and go like, hey, it's me. Hey, you. And do this whole kind of like, it's me. I know you've known me and we've kind of DM'd. That he was super immediately like, I know that this adds stress and I'm sorry. And that's, again, why I probably, like, where I tend to think that you're right, that he tried to get on from the top.
Yeah.
And then they made him wait, and he's probably like, I'm so sorry. Like, I did not want this to happen this way, that you're having to deal with, like,
he
all these other
might have even
stresses.
said that to her, and they edited out, him being like, I wanted to come, and, like, I
couldn't, Probably. But, I mean, the two of them, it was natural. It was everything. And I just loved, one of the biggest things I love about Blake is that she was very she felt comfortable to be really forthright with him. There was nothing about him that was trying to, other than when he was like, just so you know, like, if I'm here with you at the end and there's this connection that I think I will propose to you. Other than that, he didn't put any sort of pressure on her to like make a decision. There was no like, I know that we'd be great together. I know. There was nothing that put an ounce of pressure on Katie. It was as subdued of like, I really like you. I think you are confident and fun and everything. And I had to just come and see if it would be okay if I came on. And that was it. Totally. I feel like whenever we've seen it in other formats, there's kind of been like I know there's something. I know we have to do this. And there is a level of like, I'm here and there's pressure. And he just felt very like, you know, I don't know.
Also, probably adding to that is probably things out of his control. Like, it seemed like production wasn't like throwing him into the mix like with Heather. Like, he sort of got the privilege of being able to speak to her privately. And then they also pulled him back and just kept him in his room instead of him awkwardly lurking in the hallways waiting for her to come out of conversations with other guys.
That's very true.
So he was given a bit of a different scenario, and it might be different if they were like, heading on into that group date, bud. Good luck.
Oh my gosh. That's very true.
Heading to that cocktail party.
Poor Heather and the women. That was so stressful. And that came literally halfway through the season. That was like episode 6 or 7.
Or even, I feel like there was a guy that happened to recently. Don't remember. But yeah, they just kind of, sometimes they just throw him in.
Yeah.
Or even like Hannah Brown showing up during the group date with Pete, you know, it's like.
I forgot about that. What a horrible moment.
He got a nice little private moment, and then he got another nice little private moment, and he didn't have any chance to ruffle the feathers with the guys until she said that he could come back on. Mm-hmm. So all that is a pretty sweet setup for him.
Very true. They know that this could work, probably.
Definitely.
This isn't like a long shot with Heather where it was like, I don't think that this is going to be it.
Well, and the thing that seems to work with her and Blake is that the on paper stuff seems to be there. He said that too. He's like, you check all my boxes. The on paper stuff with him seems to be there. And then also it seems like the chemistry is very there because she can barely even make eye contact with him because she is a little bit nervous, butterflies, a little excited chemistry situation.
She's a giddy little, she's a little giddy queen around
Well,
him.
And the thing about Katie is with a lot of the guys, you know, she sort of has this like, I'm in charge bitch kind of attitude. And with Blake, she's a little more like, gets a little caught up.
Yeah, Blake has very,
sauce.
Blake has very, it's very Leo. Blake has very like calm, strong energy. Like, it doesn't feel like he's
overbearing.
Not. It doesn't be. I guess it's like he's not trying because he just is very like he feels very relaxing to me. Mm-hmm. Like, I would want him to be, and I remember feeling that way during Tayshia's season, where I was like, he seems kind of like this guy who's he's fun, but he's steady. And then I'd want someone like him, even if I wasn't attracted to him on my season, because I feel like he would make me feel like comfortable.
He's like fun, but still level-headed. And
yeah, I feel like I could talk to him about, like, be honest and talk to him about stuff if I'm stressed out. Like, again, even if it was someone I wasn't attracted to, I'd probably keep him around for a long time because I'd be like, I can talk to Blake about it because Blake's not going to get
kind.
Yeah. He's not going to get butthurt about stuff. I can be honest. I can ask him his opinion. He's not going to go and be dramatic and whatever. But
it's interesting. I feel like I haven't seen that conversation brought up with any other person before. Nick, Heather, Hannah Brown, whatever. I've never seen it brought up before, the suggestion that maybe that person is there for clout because they're coming on a season again.
I know.
And it's weird to me that was brought up with Blake. And this whole narrative of like 2 bachelorettes, like I said, is just stupid to me.
I know.
Like, it was 1 season.
I think it's legit because that's like been just the hyper focus of the season.
Yeah,
that's really been the only focus of the season, just, honestly, again, is like here for the wrong reasons, here for the wrong reasons.
But again, like, even Kate, maybe she was sort of like poked in the direction of saying that, but like they were DMing before. So like, obviously she knows from the get-go that he was interested since he slid in her DMs to applaud her from the show. That's not clout chasing to me. It just seems so obvious to me that that's not his motive, more so than Hannah Brown or Nick or even Heather. Like, all of these people to me have way more of an ulterior motive than Blake.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true.
So it's just weird to me that for him of all people, that's like the narrative that's kind of getting spun on and off screen.
How dare they?
I mean, some people just have don't have good judgment, though.
That's true. But no, I feel like the reason Katie asked it is because it's literally, you know, producers are making her literally talk about it being there for the wrong reasons 24 hours a day.
Wants to
and
hear,
you're just like,
No, I think it makes sense for Katie to ask because also it's like you want to hear someone say why they're there and explain also, it. I get that.
I would be so offended if I was Katie that the main narrative of my season is that people are here for the wrong reasons, like more so than another person.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
totally.
why is this the focus on my season? I'm a fucking catch. Like, why is my season all about more so than any other season about being here for the wrong reasons? Like, I don't get it. Like, I would be so offended. I'd be like, I refuse to acknowledge this narrative and I reject it.
Yeah, it is weird that that's like becoming a narrative. I guess it's just the age of the internet. But no, the only beef I had with her was just the 2 Bachelorette thing. I'm just like, that is just weird.
I'd be like, no, that doesn't count. It's just the one. And honest to God, too, it was during the COVID times. And at the end of the day, all of us would have done anything to do something during the COVID times because that was that serious lockdown.
Absolutely.
We would have all done anything. I would have told anyone I was in love with them just to get out of the house, just to sun and be around other human beings for a little while.
Sure.
I'd be like, I will do anything.
And also,
to be here.
like, Claire left so early on. Blake barely even had, it's like,
I know.
Come on. So that was my only thing with that. But
I know. And Tayshia had wonderful things to say about Blake, and that we, he was in her top 4. Like, she got to know him pretty well.
You could tell that I forgot he was in the top 4.
Yeah.
We met his parents. I don't think he was in the top 4.
He was top 5. Top 5.
Yeah. Because top 4 was Ben, Brendan, Zach, and Ivan.
He was top 5. We almost got to meet his parents.
Which will be
his
great.
Mom. I sure hope we get to meet his mom. Oh my God.
I think he's top 2. I think him and Greg will be top 2.
Yeah, I get that vibe too.
And I can't wait.
The showdown of the century. I wonder whose team, whose corner will be in.
Only time will tell.
Also, my actual favorite part of the entire episode by a mile was her going and getting Blake after the rose ceremony.
I know,
ended.
my favorite too.
She fucking ran to Blake's room. She's still in the gown. She looked stunning.
The fact that she was surprised that he was asleep at 5 o'clock in the morning,
and she's like, "What's wrong?" Or like she probably assumed that the producers were going to go wake him up beforehand. And I absolutely loved that she opened the door and he literally was just like, hey, like he couldn't even enjoy the moment because he was so fucking out of it. He was so out of it. And I love the fact that he was naked, but of course he's sleeping in the nude, God bless. And then before he came out, he was like, I didn't even put a mint in my mouth. Like he was like tripping out. He's got Galaxy boxers on, his cute little hoodie, rubbing his eyes. He was precious.
Love it.
And yeah, man, I just love that. Like it just feels so different. Their dynamic, and we've barely even seen them together. Their dynamic feels so different than the rest of the guys.
Now let me call top 4.
Okay, yeah, let's do this. I guess we're about 4 episodes in.
Blake, in order of, I think Blake makes it all the way. I just don't see the chemistry with anyone else.
Stop! You're making me so excited.
I don't. I think Blake goes all the way. I think it's them.
If you
all signs point to that.
If you are right and it is Blake, and we like prayed for this for like a year and we obsessively talked about this, and then it actually works and we love them so much.
They better. I'm saying it right now because I think both of them have listened. Aren't they both fans of us?
I don't know if they both actively listen, but if you are both,
they have been. I know they both have at some point.
Yeah, at some point for sure.
Because they both DM'd us in the past. So I say, you guys, you owe this to us, and we predicted it, and you've got to come on and do a special couples episode with us.
Oh, please. Oh, okay. We'll have the boys on too. We'll do a 3-way couples episode. That'll be chaos. Becca's not 100% in.
I'm not 100% in on that one, but I'll watch from the sidelines. Okay. Blake.
Or invite us to the wedding if you guys do get engaged. Please.
Blake 1.
Okay.
Greg 2.
Okay.
Justin 3. Andrew S 4. No, fuck. Andrew S or Connor. Or Michael. And I still say.
Okay, wait, hold on a second. Blake 1, Greg 2, Justin 3?
Yeah. I think Justin's going final 3. I think Justin's going fantasy suites.
She did say in the interview who's the hottest. I saw her say in an interview who the hottest was, and she said Justin.
Boom. Justin's top 3 for sure. and Greg's top 3 and Blake's top 3. Now, number 4 is the toss-up, because as of right now, I think it could go either Andrew S. or Connor or Michael. I think she's gonna. I don't think it's Michael. I think she's gonna cut Michael sooner, because she's gonna be like, I don't want to take you away from your son anymore, and I don't see it going any further.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be between Connor and Andrew S. actually for 4th slot.
Okay.
What's your numbers?
Oh, see, now your predictions. I think I would have said something else, but now your predictions are making sense to me.
What was your initial thought?
I was gonna say. I think. I don't know if Blake gets into. I don't know if Blake gets into top 2, but I really hope it in my bones. So I'm just gonna go with Blake being in the top 2, because I'm gonna try to manifest this. But I can't mess with the thought that I feel like Greg is number 1.
So she's not with anyone.
I feel like she's not with anyone. I feel like she is wanting Greg to propose, and that Greg might ditch or might not propose. And then she will be maybe left with Blake, and we'll see what happens.
Interesting.
But I think Greg is her number 1, and then maybe Blake's the fallback. And the question will be, will Blake be okay being the fallback, or will it be like, no? I think that's kind of where I'm landing.
Greg, you're sort of thinking Greg 1.
Greg 1-ish, and then Blake 1-ish a little bit.
Okay.
But I think it'd be Greg will be the top choice, and then Blake. And then I was gonna say Connor. I was gonna say Connor, and then Michael. Connor 3rd, and then Michael 4th. And I thought maybe she'd get rid of Michael right before Fantasy Suites because of his son.
Sure.
But now that you're talking about Justin, and then now that I'm remembering her say that fucking Justin is the hottest, and I don't remember her saying anything about Connor S. Part of me thinks that maybe your lineup is completely correct. And I think that maybe it's Greg, Blake, Justin, Connor S.
Okay, Connor's in top 4.
Top 4. Goes to hometowns. Doesn't want to take him to Fantasy Suites. Because she's maybe got a little bit of the ick, but she really likes him.
I think he might go on a one-on-one, and she might cut him.
Mm.
Did they already have a one-on-one? No.
No, not yet.
I think they're going to go on a one-on-one.
You think she's going to cut him on the one?
I think so, because I think he's going to be trying to mac with her the entire
and it's going to be too much for her.
And she's just going to be like, I can't do this. I'm nauseated.
Okay. Now, it looked like from the clips for this coming episode that, who did it look like got the one-on-one? Oh, Andrew S. gets a one-on-one next week. We see them, like him stringing the lights together and turning them on. So it looks like Andrew S. gets a one-on-one. It also looks like Blake gets a one-on-one. And then there's maybe one group date. So it looks like, unless I'm messing it up, it looks like there might be 2 one-on-ones and then one group date, like a reverse situation.
Mm-hmm. Seems about the right time that they would start doing that.
They kind of mix it up a little bit. Or maybe there's going to be a 2-on-1. Who knows?
Or maybe Blake will get put... Yeah. Oh.
I have a feeling that she's going to give Blake a one-on-one, and it's going to make the guys so angry.
Okay, and then there'll be beef with them the week after.
They showed the clip of Hunter like decimating someone, like Hunter starting to get real. I'm going to tell you this right now, Hunter. You know I love you. You know that last week we were a huge fan. If you come after our King Blake, our relationship's over.
Yeah, it's done.
Like, it's done. I love you, but it has to be done. But I think they made it look like Hunter like clobbered Blake, but it didn't actually look like Blake, and him saying like he's getting what he deserves. Like, I think there's maybe another drama going on with that situation, or they're making it look that way. And I think Blake gets the one-on-one because I don't believe that Katie won't give it to him. The sparkle in her eye. Even if producers were like on the fence, I think Katie, like it would be one of those push, like I really want to take Blake on this one-on-one.
Also, it will be the thing, like the guys will get more pissed about it because they'll be like, well, none of us have gotten a one-on-one, and he comes and he immediately gets one.
Yep.
Start questioning questioning Katie's intentions.
Yep. Now, final question before we wrap. How do you think Blake is going to handle all the guys coming for him?
I think he'll be fine with it. I think I think he's going to just have to say all he can say, which is going to be like, I understand where you guys are coming from. And I'm just saying I am here for nobody but Katie. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Katie.
Okay. Do you think it's going to be like a Nick rest of the men situation where like they will never like him? Or do you think he'll integrate into the house? I
think there will be some guys that will not let it go. And I think that the rest of the guys will be like, yeah, he seems like a good guy.
Okay.
He seems like he's hard to hold out on not getting along with.
I feel the same way. I feel like he's, sorry, love you, Nick, no shade, but a lot warmer than Nick is.
I think there will be two camps. I think there's going to be, also Nick was super cocky.
That's what I'm saying. He's a lot warm. Yeah. He's a lot warm. Like Blake is a lot warmer than Nick is just in general. Like,
I think there's going to be
personality.
Two camps that are going to last through the rest of the season. The ones that do not like Blake and the ones that end up being cool with him.
Okay. Interesting. Now I wonder if those who don't like Blake will be cut, will be eliminated. Like Katie will like not have it. I could see her getting protective of her choice.
But I will say this. I don't foresee people coming to Katie about Blake.
Okay.
I don't see that, but it could definitely happen.
See, I'm predicting that Greg will be one of the initiators to get maybe, let's say, an Aaron to go talk about Blake or something. And then like Aaron will get cut because she'll be like, it's too much. And then Greg will sneak by.
Interesting. Well, can't wait for next week.
Can't wait. Broads, this is officially a Blake fan account page, so welcome. If you don't like it, sorry about it. It's not going to change anytime soon. We love you all. Join us on Thursday. We are doing another wedding episode, but this time we're answering all of your questions. We've already recorded it.
We are wedding planners.
We are wedding planners. We recorded it. We had so much fun. So we hope you all enjoy that, and we'll chat soon.
Chat soon.